What's up, Kings Nation? Zobby here, and today I'm bringing you your weekly predictions for Week 17. But before we get into Week 17, we have to go back and look at Week 16 and see how many we got wrong and how many we got right. So the first game we have is the Giants versus the Eagles. We picked the Giants, but they ended up losing. So we're already starting out bad. Dolphins versus the Bills. We picked the Dolphins, and the Dolphins won. Jets versus the Patriots. Patriots won that by a landslide, so we got that one correct. Titans versus the Jaguars. We picked the Titans, and the Jaguars ended up winning. Yeah, so we got that one wrong. Packers versus the Vikings. We ended up picking the Packers, so we got that one correct. Redskins versus the Bears. We picked the Redskins. Yeah, we picked the Redskins, and so we got that one correct. Falcons versus the Panthers. We picked the Falcons. The Falcons won. Raiders versus the Colts. We picked the Raiders, and the Raiders won. Oh, wrong tab. So we got that one correct. Bucks versus the Saints. We picked the Bucks, but they let us down, and the Saints ended up winning. Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Yeah, I need to stop going against the Cardinals. They won, so we got that one wrong. Rams versus the 49ers. The 49ers won by 1 point, so we got that one wrong. Bengals versus the Texans. Texans barely won that one. We got that one correct. Ravens versus the Steelers. Steelers won, so we got that one correct. Broncos versus the Cheifs. We picked the Chiefs and got that one correct. Cowboys versus the Lions. We picked the Cowboys, got that one correct. So let's go ahead and count up how many I got wrong, how many I got right. For those of you that might say I missed a game, yeah, no, I didn't. I ain't missed a game at all. Let's just go. I didn't miss a game. We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to let that go over the hill. But anyway, we got 6 wrong. So we got 6 wrong. Wait, what? Hold up. Okay, that makes much more sense. So we got 10 right and 6 wrong. And I think I've been calculating the other ones wrong. But our new record is we are now 69 and 31. So 69 and 31. That's decent, I guess. I'm going to have to go back and see if I did the other week's calculations correct. But, as of right now, the record for us is 69 and 31. So, let's go ahead and move on to week 17. And let's go ahead and pick out the easy games. So, first things first, y'all already know who I'm going for first. The Browns, that's an easy win. Who do the 49ers play? This should be an easy win. Who do the Rams play? That one's iffy. What's another game? Who do the Jets play? Okay, that one could go either way. And these are pretty much I want to say the only easy games. There could be some more, but I'm not going to push it. So the reason why the Browns versus the Steelers is the Browns. And the Seahawks versus the 49ers because it's the 49ers, even though the Seahawks have been choking games recently. But let's go ahead and get into this Ravens versus Bengals games. So, Ravens versus the Bengals. I'm going to go ahead and have to go with the Ravens here. Reason being is because the Bengals have been competing lately, but the Ravens have more to play for, so I'm going to have to go with the Ravens here. Texans versus the Titans. See, the Titans do have something to play for, but I don't think they can win the division. And Marcus Mariota is out, so I'm going to have to give this game to the Texans for those reasons right there. Bucks versus the Panthers. I think the Bucks are still trying to play for a playoff spot. I'm not sure or not, but I'm giving this game to the Bucks. Eagles versus the Cowboys. Now, here, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to rest their starters or whatever, but even if they do, they have Tony Romo as a backup, so I'm leaning towards this game going to the Cowboys. Now, Bills versus the Jets. This one's 60-40, and I'm leaning towards the Bills, even though they just fired Rex Ryan. I'm still going with the Bills. Vikings versus the Bears. This one could go either way if we're being honest, because the Vikings have been on some shit. But I'm gonna go ahead and give this game to the Vikings, just because it's the last game of the season. You know, that momentum win for next year or whatever you want to call it. Colts versus the Jaguars. The Jaguars are coming off of a huge win that no one expected. If you say you expected that, you're a fucking liar. But this one's kind of 50-50, and I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to pick the Jaguars on this one, just for the fun of it. Patriots versus the Dolphins. I don't know if the Patriots plan on resting anyone, and the Dolphins already secured, well, they basically secured their playoff spot. But if they lose this week and the Broncos win, which is likely to happen, then I think the Broncos will make the playoffs instead of the Dolphins. But Patriots versus the Dolphins, I'm going to have to give this game to the Patriots. Reason being, it's the Patriots. Like, no offense to you Dolphin fans or whatever. Chiefs versus the Chargers. You know what? I know I'm a Chargers fan, right? But I have to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and give this game to the Chiefs. After what happened to us last week, yeah. Fuck this season. Cardinals versus the Rams. I'm going to go ahead and hop on the Cardinals train again. I don't know if the Cardinals have an opportunity to make the playoffs. I don't think so. But, you know, it's just a much better team than the Rams. Raiders versus the Broncos. Now, this one I was going to say the Raiders. But now that Derek Carr is out, I don't know. Because that overrated defense the Broncos got might actually be able to do something against a backup QB. So, like, this one, I could go either way, but I'm going to go ahead and say the Broncos win this one just because Derek Carr is not going to be playing. Giants versus the Redskins. I don't know if this game is for a playoff spot or not, but I'm going to have to give this game to, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give this game to the Giants. Just because they have a playoff spot and they need this win badly. Saints versus the Falcons. Definitely going with the Falcons. This should be a good game, but overall I think the Falcons are going to just win this one. Now, I think this Packers versus Lions game is for the division. Well, no, for a wild card spot. So, Packers versus the Lions. This one is about the hardest one of this week. Because this is a 50-50 game. Like, both teams have a chance to win. It's just what team will win. And the one I'm going to have to go with here. Sorry, Lion fans, but I'm going to have to go with the Packers here. Just because they have been performing lately. Now, these are my week 17 predictions. If you disagree, leave it in the comment section and tell me why. Yeah, just tell me why, and that's it. Now, let's get into who you should start and sit. Now, this list might be a little iffy because I don't know who's exactly starting or whatever, but so let's see. Definitely start for the Titans. Definitely start. Oh, this goes for both the Titans and the Raiders since their starting QBs are out. Go ahead, start their running backs, because obviously since their starting QB is out, they're gonna come out running the ball more to try to get them fitted in and stuff like that. So yeah, go ahead and start those two teams' running backs. For the Patriots game, go ahead and start Julian Edelman because he's bound to have a good game, right? Seahawks versus the 49ers. Start the Seahawks defense and Russell Wilson because, you know, the 49ers are the 49ers. For the Steelers game, start Le'Veon and AB. Should have started them last week too. I told y'all to do that, but I don't know if y'all actually did it. Who else? You can start the Broncos defense too, since the Raiders are playing with a backup QB. Cowboys versus the Eagles, start Zeke. Bills versus the Jets, go ahead, start LaShawn McCoy. Vikings, definitely start Adrian Peterson if he's even playing in that game, because the Jets defense is like just all over the place. Another person, the Chiefs, go ahead and start Tyreek Hill. And the Cardinals, definitely start David Johnson, JJ Nelson, or Josh Brown, whichever one. And for the Falcons, you already know, start Julio. That's a given. Lions, start what's his name? Not Golden. Well, just go ahead and start Golden Tate. And that's pretty much it. So, as always, hope these videos are helping you win in your fantasy league, help you win bets, or whatever you're using these videos for. But, as always, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.